Newsflash, gear doesn't matter. Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. My name is Richard and it is my goal to talk about some of the gear and techniques that I'm using and trying to figure out how we can all live a creative life. If you're watching my stuff, if you're watching other people's stuff, somewhere you're thinking about, how can I make this a living? How can I do more of this and improve my craft? I'm in that same boat and I want to help you. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about my new camera, and I use the term new loosely, the 5D Mark III. A little bit of backstory, my last camera was a Canon 7D and I love that camera. I mean, it's an old camera by today's standards. It's not mirrorless. It's an APS-C sensor from 2008, I want to say. But that camera was able to give me a start making images again. It gave me the ability to start running around the city of Seattle and Los Angeles with the camera and start making images. No, it wasn't the newest camera, and no, it didn't do great in low light, but it got me started. However, as I started taking more pictures and I started experimenting, things like low light capabilities and having a full frame started to grow on me, and it was something I wanted out of a camera as I moved forward. I'd been looking at a camera for a long time at this point. I was looking at the Canon 60, I was looking at the Canon 5D4, I was looking at 7D Mark II, but I ultimately went for a 5D3. And I know what you're thinking, I mean, that's still a 5-year-old camera. Why wouldn't you get something new? I don't think gear is as important as we talk about. I think we get into this big discussion of like the current and latest tech specs. Oh, this camera has 2 card slots. It does super well in low ISO. It's mirrorless. It has all the bells and whistles, and it even has a toothpick. I think that is a very, very dangerous game to get ourselves into because gear doesn't matter. Gear doesn't matter to the creative craft of making photography. It doesn't matter in filmmaking. What matters is everything up here. It's your vision, it's your perspective, it's the ideas that you're trying to portray with your craft. If you're only obsessed with gear and technology, well, guess what? In 18 months, your camera's gonna be irrelevant and you're gonna be constantly chasing your tail on trying to play catch up. Yes, gear is important. I'm not neglecting that. But what I'm trying to say here in this discussion is why it's important to think more about vision. And vision's a tough thing to talk about. Vision it's a very kind of nebulous word that people throw around all the time without really thinking about what it means, because thinking about what it means is something that isn't easily defined. It is defined on an individual basis. Some of the most amazing images that we see on a daily basis aren't necessarily produced with anything special. They're produced with an iPhone. An iPhone can make great images today, yet we're hung up on the latest tech specs of the newest mirrorless or DSLR cameras or the newest cinema cameras. Guys, I'm with you. I like my gear. I like my gear just as much as you do. Let's take a step back for a second and think more about what do I want to make? What is my perspective? And how can I put that out into the world? Because in doing that, we have the ability to say a lot more about the world that we live in, the world that we participate in, the communities that we are part of. At the end of the day, art and creativity is a means to connect us with an audience. But by solely focusing on the tech specs over here, it prevents us from participating in culture. And that's why many of us got into our crafts, be that filmmaking, art design, photography. We have a perspective that we want to share out in the world. So let's just keep things in perspective for a second. Gear important, yes. Vision, more important. So a little bit of backstory on the 5D3 that I picked up recently. I picked it up 3 weeks ago from Kenmore Camera here in the Seattle area. And in the short time that I've had to play with it, I really like it. The 61 points of autofocus, the ISO capabilities, the full frame, there's a lot of things to like about this camera. And I didn't break the bank in doing so. It didn't cost me my entire savings. It was a gradual step towards trying to make the leap into better gear and better equipment. And I now have money that I can put towards other areas of my capabilities and other areas that I want to grow. I need to grow my marketing. I need to build a portfolio. I need to get my portfolio printed. I can't just have it online. I need to grow other portions of the business, and that gives, having more money in my bank account gives me the ability to invest in other ways. Because if you are just putting all your money on the camera, well, there's a lot of other things we have to worry about, including legal. We're not even gonna go there. I know nothing about legal. Maybe we'll get a lawyer on here at some point. But anyways, don't focus about gear, focus about how you can grow your craft and be better at your craft, because a camera's just a tool. You don't hear farmers talk about the coolest and greatest tractors. So that's all I got for this episode of the vlog. If you wanna share your thoughts and opinions, put them in the comments below. If you really like what you're seeing here, hit subscribe. If you want to stay up to date, hit the bell above. You know what to do. You've heard enough YouTubers explain it without me telling you. But as always, create, share, and sustain the life that you want. Get out there and make some awesome work. Thanks, guys.